Good evening, everybody. It is meteorologist Angel Forecast, guys, and welcome back to the video. Hope you guys are all enjoying your wonderful evening on this Saturday. So yeah, I actually did decide to make a double upload today. It's actually been quite a long time since I've done one, but this is not going to be a video on that winter storm update, or it's not going to be on the winter storm in the west. This is actually be in the U.S. forecast, but if you guys watched my video earlier about 2 hours ago, I said I was possibly going to be doing a video but on a U.S. forecast of how cold it is getting and possibly who can get a possibly very cold Halloween. So we're gonna be doing another U.S. forecast, basically talking about the major cold fronts that could be changing up the U.S. pattern, bringing a lot of rain for the years of the East Coast, and possibly more frequent snowstorms in the plains with this cold front and the low pressure systems. So if you guys are excited about this video, be sure to drop a like. Let's try to get this video up to 15 likes. That would actually mean a lot to me, guys, for your support. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, guys. I try my best to daily updates, and sometimes I do daily updates like these. And also, again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try my best to answer them. But without further ado, let's see what we can see for the rest of October. First thing we're going to be looking at is the National Weather Service right here. And we're going to be taking a bit more time on this as we don't have a specific topic. We're going to be seeing, again, this is a U.S. forecast, so it's from now all the way to like around November 1st. But the model's just reloaded, so it's not going to get all the way 384 hours, like all the way to like November 4th. That's when it goes, because I'm actually going to, my friends are coming over to watch the Penn State game, and they're coming very, very soon, so I don't want to do that when they're here. But as you can tell, we still have those wind advisories in effect for the areas near Augusta and Charleston and Columbia, South Carolina. We do have still those winds from the tropical system. We also do have some coastal flood advisories for Louisiana and Texas, as we could have a lot of rain hanging in that area. And then we do still have special weather statements and also hurricane local statements out here into Florida, the western Florida coast, all the way from Tampa to the Panama City area near Pensacola. So again, it wasn't really a hurricane at all, but we still have those, and we still have coastal flood statements in the area for Jacksonville, with bringing in a lot of rain for the southeast with this new pattern change. And then we also do have some severe thunderstorm warnings off the coast near the Fort Lauderdale area into the northern or the north central, or south central coast. We do have red flag warnings in effect for the Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, and New Mexico area, and also we have some for Utah and for Nevada, as we do have some winds that could pick up with this snowstorm. The snowstorm that is bringing also blizzard conditions for the Cheyenne area. We do also have crazy amounts of wind in these areas, somewhat maybe tropical storm force wind in the areas, and we do have high wind watches in effect for the areas for South Dakota and northern Wyoming. We also still have wind advisories and other high wind warnings. We have high wind warnings for the areas near Nebraska and Wyoming, and also Oregon has some wind issues. That's why, again, we have red flag warnings for the other areas. We also do have, again, blizzard warnings in the red counties near Cheyenne because of this wind, and we also are seeing very heavy snow, and that's why we do have windstorm warnings in the pink color, and also winter storm advisories for the areas for Colorado. And then as we go up more, we have more winter storm advisories for many areas in the Rockies, including all the way from Utah to Colorado, all the way into Idaho. That's where we could have that snow, and I updated that earlier. Again, we also do have the winter storm advisories for Oregon, Utah, also the Los Angeles area with these winds. And then again, we also have those windstorm warnings for these areas in Idaho and the Sierra Mountains. So yeah, that was quite a talk about basically what we're seeing. I spent quite a long time on this, but yeah, I spent quite a lot of time on explaining that. But we also do have some rain out here into the southeast. Again, we talked about that with this tropical system, guys. We are again seeing very heavy rain for those areas. I'm still having rain right now because of this. Again, from Nestor, however you guys want to say it again, from Nestor, that's exactly what we're seeing from this very heavy rain. Especially, we had some tornado watches earlier this morning, and again, there's that snow that we are seeing from Idaho. We're not going to spend too much time on this as we spent enough time there. But again, by Monday, this snow will still be out here into the Rockies for Helena, Idaho Falls, and Yellowstone. We also have that this snowstorm system, or the low pressure system that will bring in rain for the Midwest all the way to the southeast, as this low pressure from the snow will bring in this rain, and that'll continue to bring more rain for the East Coast. Again, with this pattern change, only because of the below average, or only because of the cold blast. And then we could have another snowstorm as the cold blast does deepen, and that we could have some more snow, maybe blizzard conditions for Denver, Colorado, deep into the south, and that will also bring in another rain system for the East Coast. And then it looks like we could have a major snowstorm by October. This is 28th, October 28th. Possibly it would have to do with the cold air, and then by October 29th it is very widespread. This could be the second named storm for many areas in Nebraska, South Dakota, Kansas, much of Colorado, and Wyoming, Utah, and even Arizona. We could have some snow, and that could eventually maybe bring in a rainy Halloween for these areas in the east, if it's following what we've been seeing with this pattern. Now we'll be looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook, and as you can tell, much of the country is in below average temperatures, and then we also have those little areas in the tip and to the west and to the east for Florida and for the California and Oregon area are seeing slightly above average temperatures, mostly because of Nestor. Because again, with Nestor, how you guys want to say, usually typically tropical systems, they bring in more humid temperatures, but again, this is just because of the pattern change. It's because of it's not only because of Nestor, because this is 8 to 14 days, so Nestor is gone by then, but it'll bring the ridge. So this will keep. There's nowhere for this heat to go on the opposite side. There's nowhere this temperatures can go. No, there's just nowhere to go because it's not in the middle of the country. As you can tell, all the way from New Hampshire to the deep part of Texas, all the way to Oregon, we're seeing slightly below average temperatures, but we'll see the coldest conditions. We're actually gonna get all the way into the, I believe, the 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to the about the 6th shade. We'll get all the way to the 6th shade of cold temperatures, and then for many areas from Montana all the way to Texas and all the way to Wisconsin, there's that little circle there. We'll have very, very well below freeze or average temperatures, and then we'll have the coldest temperatures right here for areas in Nebraska, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and I think I already said Iowa. But again, this is where we've seen the way below freezing, possibly and way below average. We could have a very, very cold Halloween for these areas. So it looks like many of the areas could be seeing a very, very cold Halloween. I think that, like I said, it just reloaded. But today we are seeing below average temperatures with the East Coast, as we are seeing very, very rainy and cloudy conditions. So the sun's not coming out. So that's what we're seeing, cold conditions. And then we have that cold air. Like I said, this is the reason why we are seeing the cold out there in the west, because of the cold air, which brings that low pressure system, which causes the rain. And since it is below freezing, it will eventually turn into snow. By tomorrow, this does get a bit more widespread, like the snow. But the bad thing is, we have a heat wave that's in front of this. This is the usual pattern we see. The heat gets pushed by the cold air, and then after the cold air leaves, another warm front comes in, which pushes this cold air here, which pushes that cold air there. It's just a very complicated, or not complicated, but complicated process that brings in above average temperatures for many areas in the all the way from Minnesota to Texas. That will bring in slightly to way above average temperatures for many areas in the East Coast, but that rapidly goes away as the cold air does eventually come in through the southeast, and also for the northern plains, as the warm air will stick around out there into the west. And then we could possibly see another cold front, major cold front. That is the reason why we could have that major snowstorm for the areas in the southern plains. Like I said, we saw on the radar. Look, this is Friday, October 25th, and look, this is let's see, October 25th is right here in that cold air, that cold front. We'll be bringing in some snow for these areas again, for many areas, for all the way to the Arizona area, the deep south of Texas. We'll be seeing very cold conditions. And then as we actually go again, Amarillo, those areas will be seeing very heavy, very cold conditions. We could see possibly some 30s, maybe even 20s, and the feel like it could be even colder if we have some wind. And this will be very, very big cold front area that will push this heat out of the way. So this is October 25th, so maybe possibly this warm air will get out on time for Halloween for the East Coast. But does that mean we could have a warmer Halloween for the West Coast if this pattern does continue to be how we are seeing it? Well, we're going to have to wait until this stuff reloads, and maybe in the next video. And as I can tell you, we're just going to be slightly going through the European model, as honestly we just like the GFS. But again, by Tuesday we have a huge cold front that sweeps across the country, bringing in up to possibly 8 degrees below average. Again, that pushes out the heat. And then again, we have, like I said, we had another heat wave behind the cold, which does push that cold out of the way, and then brings in the warm air. So by October 26th, we do have warm air for the east and for the northern plains. But again, the European actually is changing it up a little bit. It is bringing in very cold air near Dallas, possibly seeing 9 to 11 degrees below average. And then by October 28th, this is where we have that huge cold front that goes all the way to 18 degrees below average. Many areas of Montana, Wyoming, all the way to Colorado will be seeing very cold conditions. Again, it's all a matter of this big cold front. If you guys in the east see a cold Halloween, again, by October 29th, it's very close, as the warm air is still here. It's all a matter of time. If this cold air, it gets a bit bigger and pushes this out. So it's going to be very close call for the east. It's looking for sure the west will be seeing below average temperatures for Halloween or colder conditions. But yeah, it's just a matter of time. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye guys.